Life is weird.
Super weird.
So, what did we decide to do with our fascination for the strange and unusual?
We made a podcast about it. This is Weirdify. Now,
let's get weird.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, dear.
Oh, and happy, when we're recording this, happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans who put their life on the line. Thank you for your service.
Everybody, thank you so
all
much.
of those who have served.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And happy Thanksgiving. I feel like maybe potentially when this comes out, I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe.
I feel like, what are we on, 11? It'll be after.
It'll be the week after.
Well, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope it was full of so much food.
Yes, we're pre-recording if that wasn't very clear.
Yes, to get us through the holidays and some new wacky schedules.
Yep, we hope that you're still coming out of your food coma and your belly is still full of mashed potatoes or leftovers, because let's be real, because leftovers are, honestly, my opinion, the best part about Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah.
So the dinner with your loved ones and
it is.
All the corn you can eat.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be a huge family deal with like my aunt and my grandparents and my cousins and everyone, and it was a lot bigger, and now it's small. And so this year it's just going to be me, my sister, my dad's girlfriend, and my mom.
Oh.
It's going to be very small, and Kelsey and I are cooking, so I'm very excited to do that because any excuse to cook for anyone, it just makes me really happy.
Yes, I'm so blessed.
Yeah,
we had amazing pasta tonight.
We did. It was so simple. Amanda was like, let's just do like pasta with like butter and Parmesan. And I was like, perfect, except I'm going to
Hayleyify it.
I'm going to just doctor it a little bit. So we did like a sage and garlic browned butter with fresh Parmesan on top of it. It was fantastic.
Oh, so good.
So now we have bellies full of pasta, mugs full of White Claw.
Yeah, White Claw Surge. We went hard tonight. Okay,
I say Amanda bought the White Claw Surge.
Yes, true.
But we are living it up.
We're gonna be very careful with our drinks so you don't hear our ice cubes this week.
Yeah, mine are almost melted. You have more ice cubes than I do. So
I just put in ice cubes because I made myself another drink.
Yeah, it's been a day.
It's been a month.
It's been a month for Amanda.
A couple of you.
It's been a month.
It's been at least a month and a half. But we're chugging on with White Claw. It makes it better and easier.
Yeah.
We are not sponsored, but
that would be great.
We drink a lot of White Claw.
We would drink a lot of White Claws.
Yeah. So last weekend I went to Lompoc with my mom, Lompoc, California. Never been there before. She has a longtime friend that lives there, and every year they go and do this bestie weekend thing. They've known each other. That is
truly goals.
They've known each other since they were like literally 3 years old or something ridiculous like that, / like kindergarten.
They're lucky.
So it's a really beautiful thing, honestly. And my mom invited me up there with her, which was very cool. Her mom's friend's daughter, who lived in the house that we stayed at, she's maybe like a little bit younger than us, but pretty much our age. Kylie. I have permission to use her name.
Oh, okay.
Kylie, my mom is always, mom was just always trying to rep Weirdify. So she's got to tell the girls that her daughter has a podcast. And it's always like such a funny thing to be like, what is it about? And I'm like, I can't tell you that.
You just have to listen and then you'll understand.
It's like a niche, if you will. Mm-hmm. We're not about something. It's just like everything takes like a weird turn or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, that's so cool. And I was like, yeah, we love I don't even know if I told her about suggestions. I don't even think I did. And she was like, have you guys ever done weird deaths? And I was like, ooh, no, I love that. Oh, I just gave it away. It's not mine to give away. I mean, I know it is, but it feels so
technically
weird.
It's right because you were the one who experienced it and they told you the topic.
I feel like I just want you to say it, but it's going to be weird deaths. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's your turn this time.
Okay.
We can share it.
So Kylie suggested that we do weird deaths, and that is what we are doing this week. We're talking about weird ways that you can die.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited. And I feel like I was going to say something else.
You'll think of it.
Okay. I don't know if I will, but I'm here for your journey
Well, here's hoping that you will remember.
Okay, Hayley, I want to hear about your weird death.
All right. Well, not my personal weird death.
Well, no,
I'm still here and kicking.
Fortunately, you're not dead.
I thought you said unfortunately. I was like, what?
That would be so fucking fucked up.
That would be so mean. I feel like...
No, that's not what I said.
Sad day.
Fortunately, you
sad.
stay with us.
Sad. day. All right. On the evening of July 2nd, 1951, Mary Reeser, a resident of St. Petersburg, Florida, sat in her favorite chair to relax for the evening and fell asleep. At 8 a.m., Mary's landlady came to deliver a telegram, but when she reached to grab the doorknob, it was hot to the touch and she was unable to enter. She sought the help of a couple nearby painters to help her enter the apartment, and what they found was horrifying. Horrifying? Horrifying.
It was horrifying.
It was horrifying. Just horrifying.
Absolutely
terrible. Just terrible.
It was just awful.
It was horrible. In the chair, in the living room, they found the cremated remains of Mary Reeser. Her skull and pieces of her spine still remained intact within the pile of ash, and her left leg was fully intact and completely untouched, still even wearing her black house slipper. The area surrounding the chair was untouched, including a stack of newspapers, so that eliminated the idea of a house fire. Melted fat was found on the rug underneath of the chair, leading to the theory that Mary Reeser may have been the victim of spontaneous human combustion.
Oh my God! I love this! Okay.
Yeah, it is gnarly. Michael and I were talking about it on the drive home, and he was like, that's fucking nuts. I was like, yeah, I know.
I have heard of this before.
Yeah?
I mean, I haven't looked into it. I've probably, seen it in looking for topics for this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen it where, there will just be, a foot.
Yeah.
Fully intact.
Mm-hmm.
Just but yep. Your nose.
And it's just a pile of ash.
Okay. Oh, boy. Episode 30.
It's getting weird.
We're
starting off with a bang.
Oh, my
A flash
God.
bang.
Episode 30.
We're starting out with fire.
Weirdify.
So we will start with the basics.
Oh, yes, please.
What exactly is spontaneous human combustion, you ask?
Well, if I had to guess, it would be when a human spontaneously combusts.
Oh, she's so smart. She's so smart. She's a genius.
I'm really like a genius, guys. I'm really
Hey, look,
so
Ma,
smart.
I made.
I'm so smart, Mom.
So as Amanda said, it is exactly as it sounds. It is the spontaneous combustion or burning of a human body without an obvious external source of ignition. I did read also that it can happen to a living person and it can also happen to a dead body. I didn't have any accounts or alleged whatever about involving a dead body, but apparently it can happen to a dead body as well.
Huh. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get how that would happen when you're dead, but okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really touch on the dead body aspect.
All right.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
There have been approximately 200 cases, alleged cases, I should say, of spontaneous human combustion, the earliest dating back to the 17th century. Thomas Bartholin is credited with providing the first written account of spontaneous human combustion. In his writings from 1663, he wrote that a Parisian woman had, quote-unquote, went up in ashes and smoke while she was sleeping, but her straw mattress that she laid on remained untouched. Since then, there have been approximately 200 alleged cases of spontaneous human combustion, but only a handful of them have been investigated in depth. Mm-hmm. What is the process that causes spontaneous human combustion to happen? The true answer is that nobody knows. However, there are some theories. Most believe that it involves a process where internal fluids turn into a gas that causes the fat in the body to melt and continues to burn through a person's organs and bones. Hence why melted fat was found on Mary Reeser's rug. The most popular theory as far as cause is actually by the skeptics. Many scientists believe that there must have been an undetected flame present, such as a match or a cigarette, and that is what started the fire, and this is known as the Wick Effect. The victim's clothing can be saturated by body fat or bodily fat, and when a flame comes in contact with the clothing, it quickly engulfs the victim in flames and creates the conditions that allow a body to smolder for longer periods of time.
Oh.
It is said that most victims are found by some sort of fire source, like a fireplace, but that isn't necessarily what caused the fire.
Okay.
Because nothing else surrounding is burnt. Again, the only thing that's strange and leads people to dive further into the cause is the fact that none of the other surroundings are burned, If it had been a regular fire source that caused the flames, then it would have spread to all other surrounding areas. In the known cases of, I'm going to shorten it, SHC, the only area affected is the victim and a bit of the furniture that they were sitting on. Scientists in support of SHC also believe that the combustion is caused by something internal because in order for a human body to turn into ash, it must reach a temperature of 3,000 degrees. So crematoriums have specific ovens there, get way hotter than like a standard oven to be able to bring the body to that temperature to actually make it into ash for cremation. So internally, the body has to reach a temperature of 3,000 degrees in order to become a pile of ash.
That's wild.
Pretty much every alleged case that I'm going to touch on involves basically a pile of ash.
I love this. I also love
it's because you're sick. We just learned that.
Yeah. Or maybe she said dark. You're dark like me. I don't know. I keep wanting to say
sick,
they,
but in a good way. Like sick, man.
Sick.
So coroners will often notate a sweet, smoky smell where the incident occurred. So it's basically the smell of death. And I had never really smelled the smell of death before, but a rat died in the walls of my office at work.
Oh.
And so one person, like one of our techs or whatever, came in my office and he was like, oh, that's definitely a rat. And I was like, how do you know? And he's like, it has that sweet, like sick, like death smell. Like apparently death has like a sweet smell. And I was like, gross. And then he equated it to garlic. And I was like, no, I'm going to stop you right there. I can't. Don't equate it to any food. No. But apparently it smells sweet. And then once he had said that it smells sweet, then I kind of got that like sweet note. So I can imagine that it smells like smoky and that kind of sweetness. It's really gross.
Oh, okay. It sounds yucky.
I just thought I would share. They didn't find the rat, but it no longer smells in my office, so it's fine.
So it decayed enough to not smell?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. They also have pointed out across multiple alleged SHC accounts that most often the victim's head and torso will be completely charred or reduced to ash, while their limbs will sometimes remain completely intact and untouched. So that's why normally you'll find a foot or the legs or a hand or fingers or whatever, but the head and the torso are completely just done for.
Wow.
This reinforces scientists' belief that the combustion must in fact take place in the organ somehow, or at least in like the main hub of the human body.
Yeah, up to 3,000 degrees though. That's hot.
I know.
That's toasty woasty wo.
I know.
Okay.
There are a handful of proposed causes, but none have been proven by science. This includes obesity, bacteria, static electricity, stress, and the most consistent probable cause is excessive consumption of alcohol.
Y'all need to stop stressing because you're going to spontaneously combust.
Yeah, you need to stop drinking because you're going to spontaneously, well, not, I don't know.
I was going to say, stop drinking because you're stressed.
She says as she takes a sip of her White Claw. But this isn't excessive. One White Claw is not excessive.
Neither is two.
So again, the most consistent probable cause is excessive consumption of alcohol. One scientist, Brian J. Ford, proposed that the buildup of acetone in the body due to alcoholism, diabetes, or some other specific diet can help lead to spontaneous human combustion. Now let us dive into the different accounts of spontaneous human combustion. Now, although Bartholin was credited with having written down the first account of SHC, the first mention of SHC in the history books was regarding Polonius Vorstius in the late 1400s.
Holy shit. That was a long time ago.
I know.
What the?
So the story goes that he was an Italian knight that loved to drink and loved the ladies and just loved to have a good time.
Okay.
And apparently after drinking quite a good amount one night, they said that he vomited flames and then burst into flames entirely. Just barfed flames and then just poof. Flame poof. Flame on.
That's okay. All right.
Yeah, you can't quite wrap your head around it.
I'm trying to envision it, and it's hard.
Yeah.
Because I just think my brain is going to like a cartoon. Barfing flames, but this really happened.
Yeah, this happened in the 1400s.
I believe it.
One thing I will say, and you'll notice from a lot of these stories, is a lot of them, except for the first one that I mentioned in St. Petersburg, Florida, happened in Europe. And so I was watching this video of these guys, and they were talking about spontaneous human combustion, and he was like, is it like common etiquette to just burst into flames in Europe? And I was like, that's kind of funny. No offense to those people listening in Europe, but a lot of these things happened, a lot of this happened in Europe.
Yeah.
As just a weird coinkydink, maybe. In the 1700s, SHC was the cause of death for one member of nobility. It was the Countess Cornelia de Bandy, and de Bandy was found laying, her pile of ash was found between her bed and her bedroom window. So they believe that she had gotten up in the middle.
She said laying, and then she said her pile of ash. Oh my God. Okay.
So they think that she had gotten out of bed in the middle of the night to open the window, and that's when she just spontaneously burst into flames.
Okay. As one does.
So she was found between her bed and her bedroom window, and everything but her lower legs and 3 of her fingers had been burned.
Gang's all here.
Technically, they're not. Only 3 of your 10 fingers.
Well, I was thinking like SpongeBob when he does like the gang. Gang's all here.
Oh, that's sad.
It's 3 little fingers.
And when they had looked over the room, everything in the room remained untouched with the exception of 2 candles. But the weird part was that only the wax part looked like it had been affected, not the wicks themselves.
Wow.
Yeah. Weird. Super weird.
Super weird.
Super weird. In 1725, the remains of Nicole Millet, the wife of a Parisian innkeeper, were found when her husband supposedly smelt smoke throughout the inn. She was reduced to a pile of ash in the inn's kitchen, and the wooden utensils around her remained unmarked.
Like 3,000 degrees to get us to turn to ash, and nothing around the area is even touched or charred. That is really difficult to explain.
So there has to be something in the human body that's fueling this fire, or it's some sort of other fire that wouldn't burn like a piece of wood or paper. Yeah. It was always better than the way we did it.
That's alarming. That's crazy.
We don't know what started the fire.
But we think she did.
We think something inside her killed her.
Please continue.
So her wooden utensils around her remained unmarked. Another version claims that she had combusted on her straw mattress and the straw was barely touched, similar to the other story.
Straw mattress.
Yeah, because their mattresses used to be made of straw.
Right. Oh my poor back.
I know.
I could not.
Oh, no. So since everything looked so suspicious, her husband was tried and found guilty of her murder. He did use spontaneous human combustion as a defense during his appeal and was actually exonerated. And in the end, Nicole's death was found to be a, quote, visitation from God.
Okay. Yikes.
Number 4, in England in 1967, a bus passenger noticed blue flames coming from an apartment window as they drove by. She called the fire brigade, and they went to the apartment and found the body of a homeless man, and they said that he had a slit in his abdomen that was emanating blue flames. Now that to me seems like aliens.
Ooh, aliens.
Does that seem like aliens to you?
I don't know what it sounds like.
When I read it, I thought it was like, well, blue flames, isn't blue flames like one of the hottest levels of fire? Because I think
I'm saying this as a certified chemist.
Oh, just like you're a certified MD.
Right. Yeah. I know all the things about the flames and the fire.
Yes.
From what I understand, blue is hotter.
Because white is the hottest, I think.
I don't know.
Jim would know. Jim, are you listening?
Dad, hello. Hello. Yeah.
So in the 1970s, the body of Jeanette Kazmierczak, my God, sorry,
it's okay,
was found burned in her otherwise untouched apartment while her son was out with some friends. Her neighbor was the one who found her, and all but her legs had been reduced to ash.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
not ideal. It would freak me out to see. It would be one thing to see a hand or an arm, but for some reason, seeing like a foot or legs,
yeah, it doesn't sit right.
Yeah, no, it's unsettling.
It's alarming.
Yeah,
you're like, why did you stop there?
I know. Yeah, that's the weird thing. It's so weird. Like it doesn't have enough fuel. Like it has enough fuel to like char and reduce most of you to ash, but once it gets like the very tippy tip of the extremities, it's just like, I don't have enough fuel.
Right.
Which is really interesting why they haven't found like what causes it. But a lot of people are skeptics about it, like a lot of scientists. So
yeah,
just never know. So number 6, Jack Angel, who was hospitalized with severe burns, had built a court case against the manufacturer of his water heater for $3 million. Angel originally had said that he had gone to check on the water heater and it blew up and scalded him. After further examination by a doctor, the doctor pointed out that Angel's burns had been from the inside out versus the other way around.
Yikes.
And because of this, Angel had changed his story and said he had simply fallen asleep and then awoke with terrible burns all over his body. But he just continued to sell his story as being the first SHC survivor.
Oh, okay.
And this I found was interesting. So there's only one case of SHC that has an actual witness.
Oh, all right.
A mentally disabled daughter was living with her father, and one day the father saw a flash of light out of the corner of his eye, and he turned to find his daughter completely engulfed in flames. She continued to sit quietly in the corner and gave no indication that she was in any kind of pain.
Whoa.
He did attempt to put out the fire, but continually burnt his hands in doing so.
Oh my gosh.
His daughter is said to have survived the combustion, but then slipped into a coma and shortly died afterward, which is really, really sad.
That is,
but fascinating because when I was doing my research, it seems like it's almost peaceful. Like people are, most of the time they're sleeping, but there's like an element of peace. Like no one talked about how they were in pain or anything like that, but there also aren't a lot of witness stories.
Okay.
So it just,
yeah,
it's just not to be found. So what do you think? Is there some simple scientific explanation here, such as the Wick Effect, or is there a strange internal phenomena at work where the more lit you get, then the more you're playing with fire, or it's playing with you?
That's an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, I think that just all around there's a lot of stuff that we don't understand in our own worlds. Still.
Yeah, there's a lot we haven't discovered, a lot we haven't been able to factually prove.
And so I think that this may be one of them. Like scientists are like, how can a body get up to 3,000 degrees to produce this ash? And
that to me is the most trippy part.
Yeah, but there seems to be something within ourselves that makes that possible, and not the whole body goes up, just some of it. So yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, it did. I don't know what this has to do with the story, but Mary Reeser, that one that I started my topic with, they said that when they found her skull, it had shrank to the size of a teacup.
A teacup?
Yeah, but I also
from the heat?
I don't know. I don't know how factual it is, to be fair.
Yeah. That's what I thought of too. Shrinky dink.
Yeah, or just like a grow your own skull. Like you put it in water, but the opposite.
But don't put it in the oven, it will shrink.
Yeah. Ooh, a shrinky dink fire.
I'm sure people have experimented with all. That's crazy. That was very well done. That was fascinating.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was one of my more. I had a lot of fun researching this, and it was very fast. Like I was engrossed when I was doing this. I was like,
"That's perfect. That is perfect for a very weird way to die." You nailed it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Wow. Well done, Hayley. As literally always.
Thank you, love. Appreciate that.
Of course. Shall I take over?
Yeah.
All right. So weird deaths. Amanda's taken over. I did not select one. I selected many.
Of course you did.
Okay. As I was looking into it, I was like, I kind of want to talk about that one. I kind of want to talk about that one.
Is it like my food episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a little this, a little that.
I like a good, shake up. So
yeah, it's like an if I had gone first, I would have said it's like an appetizer, but
like an amuse-bouche. Is that the right term?
It's like a dessert.
It's like a sampler platter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great.
Like tapas.
Right.
All right, continue. Go ahead.
Death.
The end.
An enticing topic. Many are fascinated by this topic. Obviously, we are. I mean, I know I am. Paisia, you are. 1 second you're here, and the next you can be gone. And depending on what you believe, you can be gone forever or just from this physical realm. And the ways that you can exit this life here on planet Earth are frankly endless. While some die of old age or diseases, others meet their fate in some really strange or unexpected ways. So let's get into some weird deaths. Now, since the inspo for this episode came from Lompoc, California, I thought I would start with a death from there. Now, this isn't particularly strange per se, but it came up in one of like the first places that I looked, and I was like, oh, Lompoc.
Oh, it's funny. Full circle.
Perfect. And truly, I could not find more than like a couple sentences on it, no matter where I looked. So it's pretty quick. I couldn't even find when it happened, but it's just worth mentioning. So at a bicycle shop in Lompoc, California, a man named Santiago Alvarado thought it would be a good idea to steal from them. While in the ceiling of the store, he fell to the ground. But what killed him was his flashlight. He had placed his long flashlight in his mouth to keep himself hands-free.
Okay.
And when he hit the floor face first, the flashlight rammed into his skull, killing him.
Oh my God.
It's not enough with a bang.
Wow.
Fun, right?
A flashlight bang.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
My mom is always like, can you guys talk about happier stuff? And I'm like, no. We don't want it.
Well, what would constitute a happy thing? Some of these are happy.
I mean, I don't think all of them are super dark, but
I don't think all of them are super dark.
As of like right now, I listened to episode 16 with her when we were on our way back from our road trip.
Oh, the one you hadn't listened. Oh, no.
She hadn't listened. She was just in that order. So she's on 16 right now. She's like, I gotta get caught up. And I'm like, it's fine. It's so good. She's like, no, I want to.
What was 16?
Phenomena.
That's funny. What did I do for phenomena?
You did antimatter.
Oh, that's right.
My mom was like, holy fucking shit. This is a lot. And I was like, yeah. And don't worry, Mom. I'm going to take over with blobs that fall from the sky. So it's de-escalate.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, so much good stuff to look back on.
Absolutely.
Go back and re-listen. All right. Anyway, death.
All right. So that's one. And then we're just going to talk about a few more. So, this one happened in Ireland. And I don't know. If you offend easily or something, push through or skip ahead or I don't know. But in October of 2008, a 43-year-old woman died from an allergic reaction after having sex with a dog.
Oh, God.
The woman had met a man in a bestiality chat room. And I feel like we've talked about this before, but there is truly a chat room for everything.
Yeah.
So that's where she found him.
Yikes.
She met up with this man. I did find his name, but I just thought I wouldn't mention it.
There's no point.
Yeah.
No.
Just
doesn't add to anything.
Yeah. So she met up with this man and his German Shepherd. It's not known whether or not he forced her to have sex with the dog, but shortly after sex, she went to the hospital and then later died from anaphylactic shock. The man in question, if convicted, could serve life in prison.
What did she have an allergic reaction to?
The dog sex.
Like whatever was inside of the dog?
Yeah, or just the dog itself or something.
Gross. That is, ugh.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, me either.
I appreciate a good fetish or whatever you're into, but that's my boundary. I can't get behind that. Sorry.
No, I agree. It's
Yikes.
a little much.
Ugh.
So the next one felt right to talk about as far as this new journey that I'm on, but I truly hope never happens to me while I am wicking. In 2000, a 19-year-old named Jonathan Burton was traveling Southwest Airlines from Vegas to Salt Lake City. During the flight, he decided it was a good idea to storm the flight deck. Unfortunately for him, people take that shit very seriously.
Yeah.
And this was in 2000, so this was before 9/11.
Yeah.
But apparently post 9/11, people are ready to help.
Oh,
they
yeah.
do not want to die.
Absolutely.
So he kicks in the flight deck door and pops his head in, and this is when 8 men who were just passengers on board the airplane begin to restrain him. Some men were restraining him with their feet on his neck, effectively suffocating him. Allegedly, there was a man who kept jumping on his chest, even after he had been restrained. Ultimately, the man died from asphyxiation. People, please don't try to get into the flight deck door.
Never. Don't do it, you guys.
Because people might kill you
I know
they think that you're going to kill them.
Yeah, I know people won't that listen, hopefully not, but people maybe that don't listen will. Just don't do it.
Why? Why you guys scare a whole plane like that?
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Yeah, no, it's not.
You have no idea. This
not
is
cool is an
defense
understatement.
that we learned. Yeah, really. But I mean, yeah, when you're trying to like get into the flight deck, that's alarming. People are like, no.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm gonna die, I'm going out with a fight. And if you are one person, you're probably not gonna win against an airplane of people.
Very quickly, can you rally people on your side? Yeah, for
100%,
sure.
100%. So, the incident has actually inspired a play, an episode on CSI, and other miscellaneous TV shows, and has even made its way into comedian sketches. So the next one that I'm going to mention has been done many times, so I'm not digging into it, even though this could be a topic that I talked about for, like, just my whole topic.
Okay.
But I'm pretty much going to talk a few sentences about it.
Okay.
Because I just feel like I find it so interesting, but it's been done so many times.
Okay.
All right. So,
Can I take a guess at what it is?
Yeah.
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
No, what's that?
Oh, that's like when you are like choked out for pleasure, but sometimes it goes wrong and you end up like dying because you like are cutting off your oxygen supply, and sometimes you do it too much and then it's you black out, but sometimes you actually die.
That would have been a good one.
So okay, I was wrong.
No,
I was trying to take a stab at it.
We're gonna take a turn from that.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway,
but it's mine is definitely a weird way to die. So on January 15th, 1919, on Boston's North End, you've probably heard of this. If not, whatever. But I feel like just listening to podcasts in my life, I've heard of this so many times.
Okay, I'll tell you if I have.
A huge storage tank, 50 feet tall and 90 feet in diameter, with 2.3 million gallons of molasses, bursts and floods into the city, traveling at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. No. Oh,
not at all.
Dang it. I kind of wish I had done this. I just feel like it's been done so many times.
No. Okay, I've never heard of this in my life.
It's called like the Great Molasses Flood, or like Boston's Molasses Flood, or something like that. Okay.
Oh, well.
Okay. In 1919, molasses hit the fan. Okay. The incident ultimately killed 21 people and injured 150. The aftermath was crazy. Buildings were crushed. Everything was covered in molasses, some places up to a foot, and the smell lingered for decades. I was reading, too, that because it was in the winter, temperatures were colder, making it even harder to clean up because it was just cold.
Yeah.
And
so it's super sticky.
Yeah.
It's already sticky, but super sticky.
And so they were saying, like, if this had happened in summer, it probably would have made...
In summer...
Yes. It probably would have made the deaths less because it would have been thinner, if that makes sense. But it was so thick because it was winter that it just made it impossible to get out of. And then as the night, like, became the night and people were stuck in it, people were actually stuck in it, and like more people died overnight.
Wow.
Because they couldn't get out of like asphyxiation and stuff.
So kind of it was like autoerotic asphyxiation, but there's no autoeroticism, right?
Yeah, asphyxiation minus the sex and plus a lot of molasses. The incident was due to oversights in safety, and ultimately the steel that held the tank together was not strong enough to hold that much weight. The metal didn't have enough magnesium. Actually,
how much molasses was it again?
2.3 gallons. 2.3 million gallons.
I was like, 2.3 gallons? was not going to go very far.
Just like 2.5 gallons of milk. No, 2.3 million gallons.
Why did they need that much molasses? Where was it going?
Oh, good question. I don't have this written down, but I did read about it. They boiled it down to make alcohol, which this was, I guess, God, please help me.
Bourbon, probably.
World War I?
Or whiskey.
I am not sure when World War I was. Please don't come for me, people. I am so sorry. But while I was reading about this much molasses, they burned it down to make alcohol, and the alcohol did something for the firearms that they were using. So it was essentially to make more guns and weaponry.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Don't come for me, people. I'm sorry. Okay.
Makes sense to me.
The metal didn't have enough magnesium mixed in with it, making it brittle in the cold weather, which is when it burst. So a lot of people think that it could have just been because of that. But I heard that there was weird things going on with the rivets, and it was like essentially deemed that this could have been prevented, but that people were cheap and didn't want to fix problems that they knew were going on. And then it burst, killed a bunch of people. fucking flooded the city with molasses. All right.
Yeah, QA did not do their job.
Yeah. And like I've already said, there is so much more to this story. Like, it's a really interesting story, and it would have been a good one for me to cover all by itself.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I just found a lot interesting, and this one's been done, so.
I would never have known about it, but I appreciate you at least sharing it.
I heard it for my first time on My Favorite Murder. That was when I first heard of it. I think Karen covered it. Great episode, didn't reach fine, but a lot of other podcasts have done it. All right. So for my last murder.
Your molasses murder? Molasses murder?
Murder.
Well, October 26th, 2001.
Almost your birthday.
Am I 9 or 10 on that day?
October 26th of 2001?
Yeah.
You had just turned 9 years old.
So, but if I add 92.
You were 9 years old in a day.
One day after Amanda turned 9. Listen, people. I never claimed to be a mathematician, and I never
But she did
will.
claim to be a doctor and a chemist.
No, God, please.
She wears a lot of hats.
I joke.
I kid.
Okay. So I saved this one for last because I think it's the wildest.
Awesome.
So October 26, 2001, Shantae Jawan Mallard is driving home when she hits Gregory Glenn Biggs, a homeless man who was living in Fort Worth, Texas. She hit him so hard that he flew over the hood of her car and became lodged in her windshield. And this is where it gets
lodged weird. In the windshield? Like he went through the windshield?
Like he went partially through the windshield.
Like half of his body is through the windshield. Mm-hmm. Okay.
She drives home with Gregory in her windshield and leaves him there.
Why?
Let me reiterate. A man was lodged in her windshield, and she drives home and parks in her garage. Okay?
That must have just been the panic. That must have just been like the flight mode instead of...
So he pleaded for help, and according to testimony, she went out several times and apologized to him for what she had done. Some reports say that Gregory died hours later. Some say a day or two later. Either way, he died in her windshield. I can't imagine what that would be like. You're
no.
Like, ma'am, please, you keep coming out to apologize, but you haven't called the cops.
But I'm still hanging out of your windshield.
Still here in your windshield, please.
Oh my gosh.
So
that must have been just panic that drove her to drive to her house to park in her garage.
So she did admit later that she was on ecstasy, alcohol, and marijuana when she hit him.
Oh my gosh.
She was having a gay old time.
Wow.
She tried to cover it up, actually. After he had died, she tried to like hide his body and get rid of her car and like any evidence and stuff that would tie her to it. But ultimately, a couple months later, I guess she was at a party and was like telling people about it, which
okay.
Which that is how she got caught. She was convicted of 50 years in prison.
Yeah. Vehicular manslaughter.
Like not just manslaughter, like he might have lived.
That's true. That's
like,
very
true.
You
ensured that he was gonna die.
Yeah.
And then okay. There was a film made about it called Midnighters and focuses more around human decision making when under pressure than it does just being about the movie and what happened, which I feel like I would be curious to see because I just think that humans in a pressure situation like that or in like a weird situation like that, it is fascinating to see what we'll do. Like they've done studies, obviously not like that level,
but
just studies of people in pain and how people react to that, and just all they've done different studies to see how we react.
Everyone reacts differently based on our own probably experiences and stuff. Yeah.
So I feel like I would be interested. She was also just like side note a nursing assistant, and so it was like quite literally her job to help people. But I think that just goes to show like how
she just wasn't in her right mind. Because if that was her profession, then she's wired to help.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't in her right mind, I guess.
She was in the wrong mind.
Yeah, she wasn't. Wow. Crazy. Yeah. Okay.
That's Shantae.
Wow.
And Gregory. And that I reminded.
Shantae, no way.
Shantae, no way, girl. You wild, okay?
Oh, that sucks. It makes me sad.
I mean, I could have ended on a happier note, but we were talking about ways people died. So
That's fine.
It's hard to do.
It's okay. It's hard to do.
It's hard to do. Yeah. So,
if you've died, please send us...
Or if you know of anybody who've suffered from...
If they left this world in a very strange or peculiar way.
And you feel open enough to telling us, please.
Yeah. No pressure. Yeah. But we would love to hear it. We found it fascinating. This is a really interesting topic.
Yes. Thank you, Kylie, for suggesting weird deaths.
Yeah.
You rock. And this was a fun episode to look into. Yeah. I was like, I don't think I'm going to just do one. I think I'm going to do a couple.
No, I appreciated it. It was like a little grab bag of goodies.
Yeah, right? And then I was like...
Sad goodies,
oh,
but
I think I'm going to do that one too. Oh, yeah, that one's pretty weird too. And then I just kind of kept adding on. But no.
The most morbid grab bag.
Right. You might die from asphyxiation on an airplane. You might die from
the most
being
morbid
lodged
grab
in a
bag.
windshield. Or how about molasses?
Molasses!
Spin the wheel to find out. This is getting dark. Okay.
All right. Anyway.
Thank you guys for joining us as always.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. If you care to listen to more of our shit, please do so on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Is that all?
Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook at Weirdify Podcast.
Yeah.
Send your stories or topic suggestions to weirdifypodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, please.
And we hope that you had a happy Thanksgiving, and we hope that you are well, and we hope that your holiday season is going swimmingly.
What you're doing with your eyes right now, I'm having a hard time.
My eyes are so itchy. My allergies are freaking out.
Your words are so genuine, but she's like pulling up her eyelids with her fingers as she's
We hope that you have a happy holiday.
That's more fitting for the face. Anyways,
Lord.
Thanks for joining us, y'all. We love you.
Yep.
And as always, please keep
it
weird.